Here I'm trying to fix a Hyundai Elantra with the 2.0 liter engine. It's a 2008 with this code P2251. And basically what the code means is that there's a voltage that's going way above. There's a threshold that it should be at, but it's going like way higher than it's supposed to be, if you want to read up on that. And basically, if you want to read this a little bit, when it's idling, the O2 sensor is supposed to be between 1.5 and 2 volts. And then when it does fuel cutoff, it's supposed to be around 3.2 volts. So if you want to go back and see that. But here I'm test driving the car, and I'm going to about 60. And when I let off the gas for it to coast or fuel cutoff mode, it jumps up all the way to about 4.8, 4.9 volts, which is way above its threshold. Also try to do this with the car in park and just rev it up really high, and then let go of the throttle really quick, and you'll see it'll jump up to like 4.9, 4.8. And it's not supposed to look like that. It's supposed to look more like this, where it jumps up, but it only jumps up to about 3 to 4 volts, and that's the specification. And here's more information on this code, if that helps you out. But there's like 2 tests it wants you to do, and one of them being checking the voltage at pin number 2 at the connector, going towards the PCM, not towards the O2 sensor. So disconnect it and check the voltage there. I want to be doing this with the ignition on, engine off, and that's when you'll get your voltage. I got about 2.5 volts. So you just use your voltmeter to test the voltage for number 2, and then the other side is a ground. You just put it to the battery ground. And then basically what I did is I tested all of them, and they're all supposed to have a voltage 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And this is basically what I got. Top 2 left are 2.2 volts. The both far right ones are 2.5 volts, and then the bottom ones, which are 5, 6, I believe, one of them was 4.4 and one of them was 12.3, or battery voltage. The 2.2, 2.5 ones might be a little different. I think that's how they were oriented. But I know the 4.4 and the 12.3 were on that spot 5 and 6. So take that with a grain of salt. But that's basically what they're supposed to be around. And then basically what they also want you to do is do a resistance test from number 2 pin to the rest of the pins. So when you do that, if you try to do that, make sure that the connector at the PCM is disconnected. Because I tried to do it with the PCM connector connected, and I had voltages on, or I had resistance on all of them, and that's not how you're supposed to do it. I know you're not supposed to do it like that, but on the instructions it didn't say to disconnect the PCM connector. But when you're doing that test, you want to disconnect the PCM connector, and then you can test from 1 to 2, 2 to 3, 2 to 5, 2 to 6, and if you have no resistance, then your wiring is good. But once you've done all that, verify that your wiring isn't cross shorting each other, then you probably just have a bad O2 sensor. If you want to read this up to, like I said, that's the specification that's supposed to be. When it's supposed to be in fuel cutoff mode, it's 3 to 4 volts. That's the part number that I got. That's the O2 that I got. I called the dealer, and they said that their OEM O2 is not made anymore. So once I put it in and test drove it again and did the same test while I was idling, it was in park, it only went up to 3-4 volts, which is at the top of the specification, and I really don't like that. Like I said, it should be lower, but it didn't set the code anymore, so that's good. I feel like if we had gotten an OEM one, it would have been better, but like I said, they're not made anymore. So before replacing it, also you want to make sure you don't have any exhaust leaks, because that can throw off the readings. Also, you want to make sure you have no oil consumption, no cooling consumption, or oil leaks that are getting into the O2 sensor. It's kind of rare for that to happen, but make sure all that is good. Make sure your fuel trims are also good. Make sure they're near 0, because again, any like weird problem like that can throw off O2 readings, and you want to make sure all that is good, which I did make sure. And you want to make sure because this I think the sensor was like over $200. All right, so hopefully it helps you out. Let me know if you have questions, and I'll try to help you out.